When we were looking to buy a van, there was one thing we were majorly worried about, and that was if we would actually fit in the bed. Of course, we wanted to see the whole layout, check out the bathroom, the cooking situation, but if we're gonna be sleeping a whole bunch here, we have to know if it's gonna be comfortable.
In the 144 Sprinter, space is really at a premium, and we needed to know if we could sleep east to west, because if we couldn't, that's a deal breaker. We found some vans online. We made a special trip to the dealership just so we could specifically test out this bed.
I remember climbing up into this bed for the first time thinking, are we gonna actually be able to both fit into this and sleep comfortably? Turns out it actually works, and you can have a gazillion pillows too.
We were honestly surprised how well we fit in here, but today we're going to show you exactly how we fit in here, not only just one of us, but both of us, because that's a pretty big deal getting two people in here. We'll talk about headspace. We'll also discuss north-south, east-west, what that actually means in a 144 Sprinter. We'll also go over a couple things that we found that a few people might actually have issues with. But first, what is north-south versus east-west?
This is north-south, and this is east-west. Being able to sleep east to west was very important because when you're north-south, I'm basically taking up half the van.
Half of the bathroom, and on this side, it literally is half the sink. Like this whole pantry would be gone and be a bed. And now you can see why it's such a big deal going east to west in a small van. You can see Kelly's here, but these flares are what really make it work. Although Kelly's head is just barely into the flare.
But my feet are totally in it, because without that flare, my feet, I would have to bend my knees. I am 5'9" and Greg's 6 foot, so that makes a little bit of a difference. Let me show you what the flare looks like on the inside. I can put my whole hand here. I mean, it does taper a little bit towards the top, but I mean, it is still pretty deep, especially the window side. Now the passenger side is about a half a hand length width, so it is a little bit smaller.
This is what the flares look like on the passenger side. You can see it's actually pretty big, but you'll notice it sticks out that far. And if we look at the driver's side, you can see this flare is significantly larger, and there's a good reason for that. On the passenger side, it's not as big because it has to clear this door. The one downfall of the flare on the driver's side is it is big enough to kind of block your vision just a little bit.
To show you without the flares, I'm at the very edge where the flares aren't connected, and I'm hitting my head hardcore on this wall, and my feet are definitely touching. I could not lay completely flat at all. I mean, my head is bent up. Maybe if I crouch nope, can't do it. Basically what that boils down to, if you're a tall person, you are not sleeping east to west without these flares. We used to have our heads on the window side, but we wanted some entertainment. So to be able to watch movies, we now sleep on the passenger side.
Let me show you how we set up entertainment night in the van, this kind of entertainment. There's no ram track on this side, so that's why we shifted our head over to here, because there is a ram track right here, and this is a standard feature that comes on the Revel. And this just slides in, super easy to use, and then there's this one clamp that you undo, and you can configure your iPad holder right here. We've seen a few questions online of like, where do you put your TV? Well, you don't put a TV in here. There's not enough room for a TV. You get an iPad or some kind of tablet, and it's actually, this is a 12-inch iPad Pro, which when you're back here, this thing looks ginormous. When you're up here watching something, in reality, you don't need something huge because you end up being so close to it. You can easily reach up to change movies, and if we get super fancy, we'll throw our speaker down there.
One bad thing about using that ram track though is if you want to put the bed up, you have to remove it.
How hard is it for you to get up there, first of all?
Not hard at all. I'm on my tippy toes.
Do you normally back onto it like that?
No, I think normally I go like this. So pretty easy for me.
And can you be on your knees in there?
Yes, I mean, I have to bend my head a little bit,
but it does give you enough room to move around, which we'll show you when she has to climb over me.
Yeah. Yes, I do have to climb over him.
So the person that uses the bathroom the most gets to sleep here.
I used to be here until that was just too much with Greg climbing over me, so now I sleep on this side. If I normally sleep on my side, and so my legs are a little bit bent, like that. I have plenty of space.
Okay, what I don't see a lot of people talking about is that like void, the black hole over there. Do you find yourself falling into that hole? Because there's a space over there. How big is that space?
It's hand width length, but I do,
Like, is it big enough to make this whole pillow?
yeah, the pillow would fit like that, which is funny because I end up putting this pillow here and another one, so when I'm reading, I don't drop my Kindle down there.
Being 6 foot, I find it pretty easy to get in here. When I go in, I always just make sure that my head is as far forward as possible. Then I know my feet are gonna have plenty of room. We should probably mention this too, is this wall is pretty hard on your face. When first time you're gonna use this bed, just be careful because I don't know how many times I hit my face on this wall before I finally learned I have to, kind of not be super close to it.
And when we used to have our head down there and I used to be on the other side, I used to accidentally hit the light switch with my face. And so in the middle of the night, there turns the light on. It was, yeah, you learn quickly. The last thing to do with the bed is how I climb over. Well, it's a little bit tricky.
Also on this, protect your areas from the person climbing over because knees get into weird places.
So Greg has to be normally he's on his side, and you just climb over. But then I end up reaching out and holding on to the cabinets, and that's how I get out. It's a little bit of gymnastics, but it's not terrible. I think I've only kicked Greg in the stomach once or maybe twice. Do you choose a fixed bed or a convertible bed? The Revel is kind of unique because it actually goes up. Let's set a timer and show you exactly how quick it takes to put this thing up. Of course, we have to tuck our blankets out in like this because we don't want them hanging down. And since we have the air conditioner right there, we actually put the pillows kind of around it so it kind of doesn't get squished up into there. Let me push it up and show you. It's not fast, but it's not slow. But the nice thing is that now you have all this garage space that is usable with this bed up and out of the way. That took exactly 42 seconds. Now you have to rearrange once it's up, that way you can use the space, but you also have to rearrange when you put the bed down because there's only so much height that you are able to have so that everything clears. And when you're ready for bed, you just push the button. And down it goes. If you have anything in the way, this thing will become cockeyed and you'll see that it is not flat. Final verdict, single person, you have a lot of space. 2 people definitely can fit, but you better make sure you like them. Now Greg is 6 foot and he doesn't seem to have any issue fitting in this bed. Now if you're up to the 6'2", 6'3" range, you might want to go try it out first, just to make sure you fit. If you really want to sleep north-south, you're probably going to be forced into the longer vans, because the Revel, it only comes in the 144, which is the short version. I can't express how important it is, if you're able to go test out the van. Make sure you fit, because you're gonna be spending a lot of nights in here. Now, after 2 years, we're on the same mattress, it's still comfy, and it still is a nice place to sleep. I'll put links for the iPad holder down in the description below. Go watch this video next. You can find us at exploretrekadventure.com, and we'll see you next time.
Look at this big pile of blankets.
Okay, I sleep very cold, so I add some blankets.
Oh yeah, 7 blankets.